Good morning, everybody. Hope you are all well and had a really good weekend, whatever it is that you got up to. We had quite a busy one here. We had viewings, appraisals, so market valuations on a couple of properties. Hopefully, we're getting those on the market soon. So keep your eyes open on the socials for those. And most of the morning was written off yesterday as we had a audition for our little lamb who went to a theatre in Stoke to do an audition. So that's why ours was quite a busy one, in all fairness. But that doesn't stop us. We press on and we move forward. This Friday, we do see our UMove conference celebrating 10 years of UMove, which is brilliant, fantastic achievement. So really looking forward to that and getting together with some of the other franchisees within the network and sharing best practices, understanding what's working for them, what's not working for them, and just kind of sharing good ideas really. So, excuse me, that's far off. So yeah, really looking forward to that Friday night, staying over there. So yeah, busy week really we've got coming up. So let's get cracking with your review of the week. We must start, as we always do, with sports. We're going to start off and kick off, pun intended, with football. And England, 2 out of 2 victories in their European Championships qualifiers. First one against Naples, against Italy in Naples last week. So 2-1 winners in that. And Harry Kane became the highest scoring or top goal scorer for England, surpassing Wayne Rooney, which was brilliant. And of course, it had to be a penalty, following on from that penalty miss that he had last year. So fair play to him, stepping up, and now is the all-time England's top goal scorer. So kick on, and he's just coming into his prime. So hopefully he'll get a lot more now. So following on from that, we beat Ukraine 2-0. At home at Wembley. So if you did go and see that, what a great game that would have been. I imagine the atmosphere would have been really good with everything that's going on in the Ukraine, and it was nice to see kind of some of the footage where the England fans were wearing their England shirt, but also a Ukrainian flag over the top in support of what they're going through. On the same theme of football, Man City beat Chelsea yesterday 2-0 to open up the title race in the WSL. So absolutely fantastic that is. It's really, really close. Man City are now level on points with Man United, so it'd be interesting to see kind of what unravels towards the end of the season. We turn to boxing, and Lawrence Okoli retained his Cruiserweight World Championship on Saturday night, so a great result for him. But the person I want to speak about in terms of boxing the most is Nathan the Hitman Heaney. He secured the WBA Continental belt, which is brilliant, against Jack Flatley over in Telford. He is a boy from the Potteries, massive Stoke fan as well, so big shout out to Nathan on that victory. So well done, mate, on that one. Now we move into our news articles that we've picked out this week. First one is regarding a expedition across the largest ice cap in Western Europe, in Iceland, and it's a gentleman called Ed Jackson, who is an ex-rugby player, suffered a spinal injury, and so obviously hasn't played and now is sort of disabled, but he's taken a team of other disabled people across this expedition across the largest ice cap. They are going to be the first all-disabled team to do this expedition, so good luck to them on that. I can't wait to see some photos and all that sort of stuff from that journey of theirs. Staying on the theme of ice, snow and skiing, and we have to talk about Gwyneth Paltrow. Have you seen the news going on at the moment where she is giving evidence in a case where somebody is claiming that she injured them in a skiing accident back in 2016 and trying to take her to, or trying to get $300,000 in compensation from her. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Check out some of the videos of her giving evidence, because she's adamant that she can remember it so clearly in her mind. She comes up with these noises that she remembers the guy making as he kind of hit into her, and she was saying that she didn't know whether it was a prank at first or whether it was somebody that was doing something a bit perverse. Absolutely crazy story, but because he's trying to sue her for 300,000, she's counter-suing to try and basically show that she is innocent. She knows what happens or what happened, and that he shouldn't really be trying to take advantage of her because she's a celebrity. So she's trying to counter-sue for $1. Absolutely bizarre, but let's see what happens with that. Moving on to Emmanuel Macron. There was an interview where it was a televised interview where he was answering some questions regarding the pension system that's going through at the moment, which is what some of the protests in France have been about. But during this televised interview, it was pointed out and it was noticed quite it was really noticeable when I've looked back and watched the footage of him having a watch, and then partway through the interview the watch disappears, and the reason it's been said that was the case is because this watch, it's a Bell and Ross watch, and it's worth £70,000. And they're saying it's because he didn't want to be seen to be wearing this really expensive watch, so it was removed partway through the interview to not cause any more turmoil or issues moving forward. Of course, that's been denied, and they're saying there was other reasons for it, but nonetheless, it was removed partway through an interview and just looks odd. So if you haven't seen that, go and check that one out. Then we come on to South Korea, and there was a zebra that escaped from a zoo and was causing mayhem all across Seoul in South Korea. There's video footage, as there is of everything nowadays. This zebra just running through the streets, and even cars stopped for it while it was crossing the road, a zebra crossing. And yeah, luckily it went down an alley. The people from the zoo managed to corner it in an alley and get it back to the zoo safely and uninjured, which is the main thing. So yeah, but that's a crazy video as well. So please, all I ask is that some of these news articles that I talk about, go and have a look at some of the footage for them, because they are just crazy. There in South California, there were some flame balls going through the night sky that were noticed, and obviously it was questioned as to what they were. It turns out that it was actually space junk that was dumped from the ISS back in 2020, just re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. So obviously it burns up on re-entry, but that's all it was. But that was a remarkable scene from the photos that I've seen of that as well. So check them out. Now, something you may or may not want to check out. I was quite curious, so I went and had a look. But there is a film that's out now. I believe it's out now. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So it's a Winnie the Pooh slasher movie, so horror movie. I didn't know that this was a thing. Mrs. You didn't know this was a thing. So we sat and watched the trailer last night, and if I'm honest, it's creepy as anything. But the curiosity in me wanted to go and have a look, so I did, and yeah, strange, odd, creepy, whatever. It is clearly that, but I do also now want to carry on and watch the film just to kind of see what it is. And how they got away with copyright infringements, no idea, but apparently they really did their homework, and it was launched and released without any legal hitch whatsoever. So brilliant to them, really. Anyway, the reason I mentioned that is that's out, but it's actually been banned in Hong Kong. And the reason for that is that Winnie the Pooh and the sort of Winnie the Pooh stories and characters, that kind of thing, have actually been used in protests in recent years against the president of Hong Kong. So that's the reason why it was picked up as one of the news articles I was going to or that I've discussed today, but I did go and check out the trailer, and bizarre. Go and have a look. So, 10 minutes. Moving swiftly on to your statistics of Stafford. We have in ST16 new instructions. We've had 24 new instructions in ST16, and the most expensive of the ones that came to the market last week is on Castle Bank, and that is a 3-bed bungalow on the market for a cool £525,000 on with Durish and Day. So yeah, 24 new instructions in ST16. Sales agreed last week, 11 in ST16. And the most expensive sold was on Hurst Grove, and that is a 4-bed detached on the market at 380,000, and that was sold by Kaylee and Coolin, so very well done to them. Also, I must note, in the ST16 area, we secured 2 sales on 2 properties last week. One was only on the market for 2 days. That was on Harcourt Way, and another one was on Charnley Road. So that 4-bed detached property that we've had on the market for a while, so managed to secure a sale on that, which we're really pleased that we could get a conclusion to that for the sellers, and they can now move on, and they're looking to, wow, they've got an offer on something, and quite a small change, so we can get that moving quite quickly. Moving on to ST17. So there were, hold that, ST16 price reductions. There were 9 last week, so 9 properties reduced in price last week. So moving on to ST17, new instructions, exactly the same number, 24. So 24 new instructions within the ST17 area. The highest priced one that came to market was a 7-bedroom property in Pool Lane in Brockton. 7 bedrooms, 55 photos that listing's got. I mean, if you want to have a look at it, please do, but take a good hour out of your day to flick through those. So yeah, 7-bed property on the market, £750,000. I'm pretty sure it may have been on the market last year as well. So just have a look at that. So yeah, 24 new instructions, 7 properties sale agreed or under offer. Most expensive being on Bodmin Avenue. That's a 4-bed semi sold by Durish and Day, and that's on for 320. I don't know whether I said that. Moving on to price reductions, there was only 8 price reductions within ST17 area last week. So that is all for there. Moving on to ST18, and we had 8 new instructions come to the market last week in ST18. Most expensive was or is a 5-bed detached property on Callow Hill Place. It's a nice property that we went out and valued the property as well. That's on the market for £550,000 on the market with Durish and Day. So 8 new instructions, 8 properties sale agreed. So that's a good number as well for ST18. Most expensive being a 5-bed grade 2 listed country retreat, if you like. Absolutely stunning property on the market with Anderson Dixon Needwood. Sold, well, it was on the market for, we don't know what it sold for yet, but £825,000. So the high-end stuff is moving. The lower-end stuff is moving. We are coming into spring, so now is the time to get your property there or thereabouts. Price reductions in ST18, just the 2. So this has been, as ever, your review of the week. Hope you enjoyed. If you want any information on any of the stats that I've got, or any information on how we can market your property to try and get you sold, like I say, we are coming into the spring, so although it is a really good time for people to come around and view and for buyers to buy property, there are more properties coming to the market, so more competition. So give us a call if you want to know how we do things. Obviously, number and everything is the usual, so 01785 904 535. Drop us an email, contact us via the socials, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.